What do Falcons do? We rise up. Welcome to Rise Up Reactions, the show where we talk all things Falcons, NFL, Georgia sports, and in general, the sports news of the day. I'm your host, Dr. Lee Denning, the Golden Hard Doc, and a lifelong sports fan. And guys, coming back to you, the Falcons have been movers and shakers this week, going in between week 1 and week 2 of the preseason. Obviously, we suffered a ton of injuries that were pretty instrumental in week 1 of the preseason at Miami. This week, we go to Baltimore to play, and it's probably going to be a bunch of backups for Baltimore. They don't have any need to play most of their starters. But I do think that the Falcons need to get Kirk Cousins some reps, so I would like to see him at least play a series, and then I would like to see a lot more of Michael Penix. I probably won't actually get to see much of this game just because it's a noon game. I don't really have the time this coming up weekend. I already had some plans, got some things going on where I'm going to be drafting for fantasy as well and doing some other things. So really not going to have a lot of time to watch this one, but I will catch some highlights. But the Falcons making big moves, and I wanted to briefly discuss that today. I've already talked about how excited I am to welcome Matthew Judon from the New England Patriots to the Atlanta Falcons. I'm so incredibly excited about this move. We have a guy that has at least the potential to be a double-digit sack guy. He would have been, no doubt in my mind, he would have been last year had he not been hurt. He was already at 4 sacks through the first 3 weeks of the season and had double-digit sacks in the 2 years prior to that. It was an upper body injury, so I think he's going to be completely fine. He's a 4-time Pro Bowler. He's never made an All-Pro, but he still could be an incredible presence. We have not had somebody like his caliber since Abraham's back in the day with the Falcons. And if you want to throw out the Vic Beasley random year, which he did with over 10 sacks and then fell off a cliff, that's fine too. I just want to see sustained success, and I think he could do that for a couple of years or a few years on his contract, whatever that turns out being. The bigger news of the day, though, is the Falcons yesterday made a 1-year deal with 3-time, actually I think it's more than that, 4-time second team All-Pro safety in Justin Simmons from the Denver Broncos, who found himself on the free agent market this year. He also has 2 Pro Bowls to his name. I was not sure about the All-Pros. I thought he had been named All-Pro at some point in time. I just wasn't sure. But he has been a 4-time second-team All-Pro, which is amazing. And then, again, including last year, the last 3 years, he has been an All-Pro, a second-team All-Pro, with our own Jesse Bates being a first-team All-Pro for safety. So we immediately, even if DeMarco Hellams was healthy, even if Richie Grant was even a halfway decent starter, we have immediately put both of those guys on the bench in favor of Justin Simmons, and we have created an incredible dynamic for this year. This is an all-in move for the Falcons for this year with Kirk Cousins. We are basically saying, when I see this move and see the Judon move, we're going all in to try and make a run at something special this year. We don't have either of these guys for very long. We're not just going to be competitive and make a playoff. We are going to make a push in the playoffs, like a deep run potentially in the playoffs. If everything goes the way it's supposed to, if you look at the Falcons' schedule, it's certainly possible. We have the easiest schedule on paper in the league, and certainly things will shake themselves out and be a little bit different as we go through the season. But on paper, I look at the games and we should be favored in about 13 or 14 of them, and I've given us 11 wins without knowing this information. I would easily move us into the 12 or 13 win category just with these 2 additions, even counting the fact that we lost our 3rd round pass rusher in Braylon Trice and lost DeMarco Hellams for at least a short period of time. He'll be a rotational component when he comes back, and the fact that we lost Rondale Moore. We still don't know about the wide receiver room. It looks like Casey Washington is going to solidify himself as that wide receiver 4 or 5, and we'll see about that 6th guy because we definitely want 6 wide receivers. So we'll see what ends up happening, but I'm very excited about this team. I feel nervous. I am cautiously optimistic for this team because I have been brokenhearted for nearly a decade now. If you go back and include the 28-3 Super Bowl loss and everything that has happened since then, it's almost been a decade since we've had anything to really cheer for, to be excited for. And I'm finally excited. I was excited last year, but there was still, again, some caution around it. I'm less cautious this year. I'm more of the mindset that we are going to be successful, bringing in a 2-time Pro Bowler in Matthew Judon and a 4-time second-team All-Pro in Justin Simmons. Very, very excited for this team. I think this could be a special season for the Falcons, even if we don't win it all. It certainly has the potential to be that. And I'm looking forward to this season. We get started in just a few weeks' time, guys. We are basically a month away from the season kicking off right now. Have 2 more preseason weeks, and then it's off to the races. Thank you for watching, liking, sharing, and subscribing. I appreciate all the new people who are following me. It means the world to me. Thank you for helping me grow my community, and I appreciate you passing me along to anybody you might want to pass me along to. We talk Falcons all the time here. Sometimes I talk about other things. I do make some medical content from time to time, but not very much. But thank you. And as always, rise up.